At least
All
they
right,
got it fixed.
good Sunday evening, everybody. Hope everybody's having a great weekend. I've had a very busy weekend, so uh, we got Daryl here on the panel with me. How you doing,
Hello,
Daryl?
everybody. I'm doing okay.
Good. We got Lisa here in the chat. We got Backwoods Boy in the chat. How you guys doing? Thank you for stopping in.
Hello,
Uh,
everybody.
uh, just a minute ago, we had 10 people watching, and we dropped to 4. Y'all must not
Hey,
like it.
my stream hadn't started yet, so y'all can still stay here. I mean, hey Ben, Tyler.
Hey, Ben, Taylor, how you doing? How you doing? Thank you all for watching. I see Taylor over there on the
That
Facebook
was
side. So,
that.
but yeah, I had a fairly busy weekend. Uh, yesterday, I started out at like 7 o'clock mowing the grass. I started my backyard. It was pretty wet, clogging up and everything. So I uh, I stopped mowing grass, and then my friend Danny and his girl April stopped over, and somebody gave him one of those racing golf go karts. It's a Banshee, but it's got the real wide tires, real low to the ground type deal.
Yeah,
Engine kind of sits off to the side of you.
those
Uh,
shifter car things, or
it's not a shifter cart, but it's for racing. So, um,
cool. Hey
but somebody,
Ken and Sarah,
hey Ken, Sear, how you doing?
Breezy.
Breezy. But yeah, somebody gave him one, so he had an old, I think it's a 7 horse or something like that, 5 or 7 horse. Excuse me, Briggs and Stratton. Uh, he he went and bought a engine mount for it. He come over and we welded that in place and got the throttle all kind of hooked up and all that kind of stuff. And what else did we do to that? I think that's all we did to that thing. But well, they ran up to the store because they got here about 9:30 ish, about noonish. I was wanting something cold to drink, so I sent them up to the store to get some frosted chocolate donuts and some beverages. So I jumped on the tractor real quick, finished mowing my front yard and everything. And when they got back, we finished up that cart and I cleaned up around the shop. And then I realized I needed to do some laundry. So I did some laundry. And today we had a family reunion. So I've been a busy boy, you know.
Well, I've been. I had a little bit of a visit. All three of us had to go to the doctor this week, so my diabetes is doing better. Lisa didn't have cancer, and so and Millie got fixed, so she can't have no puppies.
Billy got
So
Billy
so
got
we've
broke.
had a we've had a pretty good week this week too. So
Well, I went to Wally World this morning because I needed to get a few groceries and stuff. And lo and behold, they actually had my IBC root beer in stock.
oh wow,
Usually when I go, they don't have it. And this is like one of my favorite root beers of all time. So,
that was that we went and done a grocery pickup yesterday at Walmart. I didn't go inside. It cost me. Lisa said we actually doing good this past month on expenses. I said, yeah, we didn't go inside Walmart. If I go inside, I can't. I lose. I end up spending $100 extra somewhere. So, hey, Shade Tree and Cajun.
hey, Cajun, hey, Shade Tree. Oh, Lisa got approved for her Part B medical. That is awesome, Lisa.
Oh,
Congratulations on that.
good deal, Lisa.
So, oh, she's been going through it since January. Wow. So,
Uh,
hey, Bill, how you doing, buddy? Thank you for stopping in. But no, I was gonna do the grocery pickup, but I I didn't need that much stuff, so um, I would have gotten everything at my little local, discount grocery store. But I needed sesame oil, and they don't carry it, so I didn't want to go for just one thing. So I just picked everything up I needed there, and uh, so I just went inside. And 6 o'clock in the morning, they're not real busy, and it's mainly just the pickup order people running around trying to get stuff ready for people's pickups and people restocking shelves. So it's awesome. I
Well,
like it.
well, if you catch me up at 6 o'clock in the morning, most of the time, that means I ain't slept yet. So,
Yeah,
I
I was.
mean, I was up the other morning when you posted your last video there, and I, s- and I was kind of surprised that you actually answered back that you didn't have it preset, but you answered it right after I sent the message. So I
I
was,
was. I was awake then, and yesterday after I got done with the laundry and helping and doing all that kind of other stuff around the house here. Well, I ordered pizza because I didn't feel like cooking, and then I fell asleep about 8:30 ish, something like that, and slept for like an hour in my chair, and then I was wide awake until well after midnight, and went back to sleep and went to bed
hey,
and woke.
Raging.
Raging Cajun, how you doing, buddy? And then I was wide awake at quarter after 4 this morning, so I decided, heck with it, I'm going to get up and go to the grocery store. So,
No deal. You have a big crowd at the family reunion?
yeah, fairly good turnout. Um, Probably about 40 people, I think. Um, I I wasn't in the mood to cook, so I had to find something I could make to take
Where
with me.
in the heck are you finding this stuff, dog? I mean, a buffer pad. I ain't even used one of them in 10 years.
She'll find stuff that
Yeah, that I didn't even know I had.
but yeah, I found I think it's made by Bird's Eye or something like that. It's a cheesy, creamy chicken skillet meal thing. They come in a big family size bag, so I put it in the crock pot, and actually it was amazingly good. So gradient programs. Hi Nate, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, hey,
Nate, Nate, I finally got to work on one of them racing go karts. My friend Danny and somebody gave him one, and he needed to put an engine on it, so we put a Briggs and Stratton like 7 horse on it. So but it's a pretty nice cart for somebody just giving it to him. I mean, it's not all beat up or bent up or cracked up or anything. Um, it's got hydraulic brakes on it. Um, the throttle is a little janky on it, but I think that's just how they do them on those. To my, you know,
yeah. Hey, Willie. Bud.
no, Nate, I actually didn't do a video on it. I was going to, and we got to working on it, and I didn't even pick up the camera. I was gonna do a little bit at the end, but I'm like, there ain't no sense now, so um, it's just gonna be a freebie. So, um, hey, Delisa, yeah, you love. So does Mark. Mark loves the crock pot meals. Yeah,
Yeah.
Nate, I know I'm fired. I actually had the camera out in the shop because I was gonna video something else I was working on before they got there, and I didn't even get started on that. And after they showed up, the camera was sitting over in the corner, and I looked over, and it was there after we were all done. And I'm like, "You guys didn't remind me to video that." And she's like, "Well, I thought about it about halfway through, but she said, I figured if you wanted to video, you'd have the camera out." I'm like, didn't even think about it. So
Yeah. We had we used to have a guy that showed up about every week, to my streams all the time, and he used to race them shifter carts,
Hmm.
kind of those road racer type little shifter carts. And I mean, from what I understand, he had a fortune in that daggum thing. I mean, a small fortune, but I guess it's kind of like everything else. He was a young kid, so he kind of grew out of it.
Well, this one, I think it was a shifter cart to start because it's got a big chunk of lid up in the front, and then there's like two other places on the cart that you can. It says right on them, no more than 50 pounds in this or to this mount. And the cool thing about it is the seat's adjustable. It's on like these metal tube rails.
Yeah.
You can slide it forward and back to accommodate the driver. So, what's up, Cage?
Hey, how y'all doing?
So, but yeah, I mean it's a super nice cart, and I would never fit in it because I was looking at the seat, and the seat it's not a plastic molded thing. It actually rolls in. You have to pull it open for him to sit down in it. Then it kind of locks his hip. Then it locks your hips in. So yeah, Cajun, I missed you last week, man. I was going to get on you about your shitload.
Oh yeah, the seasonings.
What's up, Nate?
Hey, Gay,
Hey,
We used it.
look at me, I'm a YouTuber.
What's up? What's up, Nate?
What's happening, Nate?
Hey, look what I got on a trailer.
Got you a
Zero
zero turn.
Can you see it?
Yeah, is it
Yes.
is that a
Zero.
bad boy?
No, it's a Gravely
Oh,
freebie.
Gravely. Wow.
even better.
Gravely used to make good stuff.
And
Probably
industrial hydraulic lift, but the motor's locked up.
Ain't no problem. Get a new one.
That's what I'm saying.
You
Well,
you got a hunk of junk of good money right there for free.
Yeah, I could scrap it if it came down to it for free.
that's the Phil. I ain't bumped a daggum car in 10 years. Here she went and found it out. All right, Mrs. Carts.
Hi, how are you?
You
Hello,
got
Mr. O'Connor.
You were fell down.
They
Nate's
fell down
down.
and go boom.
Don't put it McDonald's.
Yeah.
Just make sure that thing's not hydro locked, Nate. That's the big thing.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
Yeah. We
Yeah.
actually got it to spin a little bit.
It might be. Pull the plugs.
Yeah, pull the plugs.
Turn it over, but make sure your spark plug boots ain't nowhere near.
Hi, thank you for using McDonald's. Are you using mobile app today?
No,
I want to make boudin and make gratin.
No,
Can I get a double Whopper with cheese, no lettuce, and a large fry?
There you go. Make boudin.
Hey, Thomas, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, Thomas.
Yeah, a couple years ago, a guy I went and picked it up. Snowblower. He said it was locked up and it wasn't running and everything. I brought it here, kind of tugged on the pull starter, wouldn't turn over, and I'm like, well, we better drain the oil out of this thing. And I opened up the drain, and pure fuel was pouring out of it, and pulled the spark plug, and lo and behold, it was just hydro blocked. I mean, the crankcase was full of fuel, the cylinder was full of fuel, and I cleaned it up and flushed it out a few times, and the thing was awesome.
Yeah. We had me and Johnny had a job to do on a mower, zero turn. Mr. I forget, he's got a Cajun name, one of them hard Cajun names, and he he pulled the his was hydraulic. He pulled the plug, the seat, and he didn't get the boot out of the way all the way. And when he turned that engine over, all that gas came out of there and caught a fire. He had a fire extinguisher real handy, but it was too late. It melted the hood, it melted the carburetor, the plastic on the shafts. So we ordered the shafts and all that. It came in the next day. 2 days later, it came in. So, but
You talk about making people mad. Go through the McDonald's parking lot with a trailer.
yeah,
I do it on the way home from the tractor pull sometimes, and
it's like make them even madder. When you get your food, just stay right there. Have your wife get out, take one of the bags, and put it on the seat of the mower. Yeah, and then get back and then pull up.
I'm starting a revolution. So our McDonald's here, they tell us to pull up all the time. I never pull up. I say no. I tell them no, I'm not pulling up, and they're like, huh? What?
Huh?
They go to the manager. They're like, he won't pull up. And then 30 seconds later, they hand me my food. I'm like, why didn't you just give me my food to start with? They'll probably tell me to do that right now. Y'all are going to witness it live. Y'all see my rattlesnake tail?
Oh yeah.
And my deer antler?
Yeah, your little bitty deer antler. That's your voodoo toys in the marsh, huh? In the Everglades.
Yeah.
Well, see, my McDonald's used to do that a lot, so I started using the app. I do curbside pickup. I'll be in the parking lot ordering my food on the phone, drive around to the curbside pickup. I make them walk their ass out there. If they're gonna make me pull up and walk out, you can walk across the parking lot and give me my food.
Well, that's what I do at Walmart now is sit there and tell them to, do the pickup thing so I don't have to check myself out when they go to Walmart.
Hey, you talk about that. Like I said, I went to Walmart first thing this morning. When I walked through, like 6:15, they had 2 registers open. I went through and got my stuff, 20 minutes or so, come back through. There was no registers open. I'm looking around, and this lady walks up. She goes, well, sir, the self-checkout's open. I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that. And I'm like, I said, there's some frozen stuff in here you might want to get put away. I turn around. She says, whoa, I can open a register for you.
I don't like those robot checkouts, man. They take jobs away from people.
Yep.
Yeah. Right. Hey, at the Walmart over here in town, they got rid of half of their self-checkouts, and they have actual people checking out in lanes now. They got rid of over half their self-checkouts. They wasted a lot of money in that year and a half time. They got rid of half the registers and put the self-checkouts. Then they reverted back to the regular checkout. So they wasted, $500,000 probably.
Well, that's the way I look at it. That's why I used the call ahead deal to pick up grocery pickup thing. I mean, they go all over the store now, so it's not just grocery pickup now. You can get it. They pick up anything they got.
Well, that's one of the reasons I started doing that. The pickup thing. It takes 2 to 3 more people to do that than to go into the checkout line, because you got one person that's a runner that's out there in the store picking the stuff. Then you got 1 to 2 more people in the back room that bring the stuff out. So that's at least 2 more people you're employing that wouldn't have been employed if I was using a regular checkout line.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hi, Jack Stan. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, Jack. Now, I don't grocery shop at Walmart. Me or Missy, we do not grocery shop we don't go to Walmart to grocery shop. If something's on sale, and we need it, if we buy the groceries, we'll get that. But that's it. We go there for something else.
Hi, Mater. Yeah, I usually go to my little grocery store. It's on my way home, the discount place. But I needed some sesame oil, and they don't carry sesame oil. So I went this morning to get. and I got just the bare necessities of stuff I need from there. So, um, but so but yeah, usually I just do my little grocery one.
That's kind of, I mean, that's the thing about it is we got two grocery stores in town, but they don't they're so screwy on their prices. I mean, we got a doggone Food Line and a Food City, and they're so screwed up on their pricing that it's still cheaper to go to Walmart. So,
Well, see, it's not. Oh,
but we will not eat meat when it comes to Walmart.
well, see, I've my little discount grocery store. It's actually cheaper for me to go in there and get my groceries. But when it's comes to something special, like that, like the sesame oil, I have to have it for my cooking, and
Yeah.
I can't get it anyplace other than there. Um, and there's a couple other things too. The sweetener I use in my coffee is actually cheaper at Walmart. My coffee's cheaper at Walmart, so usually I buy all that in one chunk, one order, and that lasts me 2 months. So
Right.
about every 2 months, I do some at Walmart, but everything else, 99% of everything else, I either get at Dollar General or that little store it's called Save a Lot. It's like Lion King or one of the discount ones.
Yeah. That's
Nate said he lost signal. No, I think he don't want us to see him like stuffing that Whopper into his face.
That's it. Order a double Whopper at a Burger King product at McDonald's.
yeah. Well, I have done that because I mean, when you eat out all the time, when you're on the road and all that stuff, you don't realize you don't even think about what store what fast food joint you actually at that moment. So I mean,
Especially when you're hungry.
I had McDonald's arguing one time about we don't sell Whoppers, sir. What do you want? I said, well, I guess a Big Mac got in.
Beep beep. Road runner.
Hey, yeah, when I used to work over the road a lot, Wendy's was our place to eat, and I liked the bacon junior cheeseburgers. And inevitably, when I got back home, we'd go into like McDonald's or something because that's what my kids liked. And I'd walk in like, yeah, give me 2 bacon junior cheeseburgers, a large fry, and like, sorry, sir, we don't have bacon junior cheeseburgers. I'm like, then just give me two cheeseburgers, you know. So, Roadrunner said he gets his beef and chicken from his local butcher. I've got a local butcher here. I'm actually related to him, but the prices are relatively really, really high. So, and I try to, I tried buying stuff there, but for what I can spend 1 week for meat from there, it's about 4 times more expensive than just getting it from the regular grocery store. If you're new to a food chain, order a number 1 or a number 3. Yeah. There's actually a little bar down the street from me. I used to go there sometime 20 years ago and eat. They had really good burgers, and everybody telling me they have a new cook in there now, and they're really, really good. And so I might have to swing down some evening and get me a cheeseburger. But they're only open till like 9 o'clock, and the only alcohol that's a bar, but the only alcohol they serve is beer. They don't serve anything else.
So it's a beer joint and grill then.
Yeah.
Yeah, beer joint. That's what they call them. Texas
Yeah.
over here, a beer joint. They don't serve whiskey, so they just call it a beer joint or a ice house.
Yeah, that's what they call them. Man. That's South Carolina talk too.
Well, I think it's
Beer
the
joints.
the little town burg they're in won't allow them to have hard liquor.
It might be a good thing.
Yeah.
No, Roadrunner. It's not the one out in Mogador. This one's down between Alliance and Minerva. It's called Kiko Meats. Really, really good meat, really high quality stuff. Um, I can't afford it, So, and here lately, I've been trying to cut down on my red meats intake and stuff. A lot more seafood, chicken, things of that nature. Um, I don't know if I'm getting older or what, but there is another one that's really good, and they're affordable, but they're about 40 minutes from me, 30-40 minutes from me. Um, that's where my brother goes all the time, and they've got really reasonable prices, really good meat and stuff. It's just I don't buy enough at one time to make the trip over. I guess if I would buy a larger amount, and then freeze it, I guess I'd only have to make like once a month trip. But I don't know day to day what I want to eat, let alone month to month.
Well, our local butchers right here, they want to sell half a cow or half a pig or something like that, and we don't have enough cold storage to to buy it in that big a bulk. So,
Right.
Hello,
and
Machi.
Hey,
Goodness.
Butchie.
Machi and
Uh, yeah,
Chris,
Roadrunner. Yeah, Roadrunner. I have had some stuff from Dumas. They are really good. I just can't remember what the name of the place is that my brother goes to. They're just straight outside of Canton. But he was a friend of my dad's. When my family was a meat cutting family. We had a meat market and stuff. And my dad knew him before he passed away and stuff. So, um, like I said, he's got really good product. So, oh, Crystal, hi Crystal, I didn't see you come in. So, but um,
yeah, we used to butcher when I was a kid. Granddaddy had his own little farm, so we raised pigs and all that stuff. So I I butchered my share of pigs. So
we would do pigs and beef um, every week. Chicken's the only thing that we did not butcher in house, but we had a supplier that was very high quality. So,
well, the Granddaddy also had a little country store, so he had access to the beef and stuff. He said raising cows. I mean, mostly with raising cows, she was raising a lot of bone weight and stuff like that.
mm,
So he didn't really raise. He took his fields and all land around the house, around his house down there, and he planted it with stuff he could sell in the store, in his store. Plus, how grandmama had canned up a bunch of stuff,
yeah,
and so so in other words, it wasn't nothing to pick a doggone acre of butter beans or acre of peas or something like that. But you know, but we could, he couldn't allow, he didn't have enough land to to allow 5 or 6 acres for a cow to graze on and
right.
stuff like that. So
And I'm right there. I'm right there with you, Lisa. Other than some bacon every now and again, and bacon or sausage. Um, I've had some pork. They had some country ribs on sale a couple weeks back. I bought some of those, but the prices of pork has
Yeah.
gone way up. So, you know,
yeah,
and beef and chicken are both going up, but not as much as it seems that pork has. So,
I mean, well, in actuality, the thing about pork is if you raise you know, the big places like Smithville or somebody places like that, they got to have all these uh, ponds and all this stuff for everything to run off in.
Mhm.
And so, in other words, it costs more. It costs more to raise pigs and cows on pigs and chickens on a large scale. So, I mean, if you just had one or two pigs, the government ain't gonna ever check on you. But I mean, and granddaddy never did have. You know, he never tried to sell his own meat, his own cured meat in the store. So
Yeah, yeah, Mater. Back way back, pork used to be a cheap cut of meat. Um,
yeah,
but now with the breeding practices and stuff, and they've leaned it way out. It's actually pretty healthy to eat. So yeah, yeah. You gotta sell your eye teeth. You're gonna have some bacon.
yeah.
Yeah, $2.97 a pound.
That's for beef, sirloin, top sirloin. That's cheap. Pork's usually dollar 19.
Oh, I love the smell of cooking pork and everything.
That's what we cooked today. I had a what is the big rack of ribs? And I always forget the name of it. The whole top,
Yeah,
the whole rib off the pig.
yeah.
And what I do, I cut what they call the tips off, and I make the St. Louis style rib.
Hmm.
And I got that much meat left, and that long, 2 foot long almost, and with a couple of little rib bones in it that I had cut off to make it all even. And that's what we cooked today. We refroze it, and then that's what we got today. Missy cut all that pork meat up. It's got some pork belly on it.
Yeah.
The belly meat, meat, not fat. And that's what's the stuff for today, along with some potato gravy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, while we were butchering the pigs and all that stuff, we had the pork skins and all that stuff. We cooked that stuff up right there on the spot. So I mean, we were we were well fed over that pig. I mean, we we threw that we did throw the intestines away, but we kept the squeal. So I mean, so
My my family had a slaughterhouse. I mean, they'd come in on the hoof and leave in a bag, and
no.
we'd make lard, we'd make the cracklings, everything. Used every part of it but the snout.
Well, they would. We basically used every part of them except for the intestines because Granddaddy never figured out he couldn't clean them intestines good enough to make anybody eat them. So
Right.
I mean, South Carolina. I mean, they even have festivals down there for chitlins. But I
Mm.
mean, hey Wayne. But I mean, it's just. But we always got rid of the intestines. But everything else, I mean, including the brain. I mean, we made souse meat out of the brain and everything else. So
Yeah, I mean, we'd use all the organs except for the intestines and the stomach. Didn't do a lot with the brains. Just no big demand for them. But yeah, I mean, we'd skin out the heads and get the cheek meat and stuff out for making sausage and whatnot. And
well, I mean, down south, the souse meat and stuff like that. That was actually a big thing down there. I mean,
Oh yeah, down south, all
yeah,
the jaw meat, the head meat.
cows
We
and
make hog head cheese, which
yeah,
they call souse or scrapple up north.
yeah,
Up in Maryland, they call it scrapple.
yeah. Hey, Jungle Bob.
What's up, Bob?
Tough Jungle Bob.
Yeah,
When
it
we
was,
when we butcher a hog, we'd make the ladies would cook the backbone stew, and then we would finish up cutting up the hog and making boudin. With the heart, liver, tongue, the kidneys, and meat and the Boston butts. We all the leftover meat or cut up meat. We grind all that up. We boil it first and then grind it all up, then add cooked rice to it, and stuff it in the casings, and that was our boudin. Hell yeah!
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, we made all kinds of lunch meats and sausages and just, basically anything you can make from them. So that's one memory I do have that is awesome. My dad made the best smoked sausage, hands down. I've never found anything as good, and there is nothing better than putting that stuff, bringing it out of the smokehouse when it's done, and you got to cool it down with cold water to get it to stop cooking. And just as it's cool enough to, that stopped cooking, reach in there and break you off a chunk of that and eat it right then and there.
Oh yeah!
Oh, that is awesome.
we used Granddaddy more or less. He did the salt curing instead of the smoking. He salt cured most of the pig, but
Oh, so he's making a lot of hams too.
he had hams. He had the side
Bacon.
meat. He had a lot of
Right.
bacon and a lot of uh, 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 he did have a lot of pork chops and stuff like that. He had it all. He had the since he owned the store, he had the meat slicers and all that stuff. So, I mean, we had most of that except for me out there with the scraper having to scrape that doggone hair off that son. But
Mater,
I think
Mater,
he had like. Go ahead.
I said, Mater asked who makes the biggest CC two-stroke chainsaw. Uh, I'm gonna guess Still probably does because they got some of those big cut-off saws, the big bladed or the wheeled cut-off saw things. I think those are pretty big CC motors on those. So, but yeah, we made bacon and hams and boneless ham, regular bone-in hams, bacon, all that stuff. I mean, everything we could make from it, we made them. Really miss that period of my life.
Yeah.
Can never find any place to replace it. So
Well, I mean, New Year's, there was always a use for ham bones and all that stuff.
mhm.
So we didn't even throw the bones away. I mean, New Year's, New Year's at the Eve, and Grandma would always cook up a big pot of ham bone, ham and beans and
Oh
stuff.
yeah,
That was always supposed to be the money for the year, and probably all them old wives' tales about all that stuff. So black eyed peas, she'd throw a big piece of ham bone in that stuff, or
Oh
fat
yeah,
back.
big,
I
and nothing
mean,
wrong with a big pot of black eyes with a ham bone in it.
and a big old and we'd end up with a 5 gallon bucket of lard. I mean, that's what she cooked with was lard. So them
oh
old cat head biscuits with the lard in them and stuff like that. You can't find stuff like that today. So
I've
Oh
cooked,
man,
I've cooked down more gallons of lard than I even care to think about.
I mean,
uh, Polar Bear, I got to run.
Okay.
Daryl, I got to
all
run.
right,
Appreciate you having me up for this little bit of short 40 minutes, but I got another appointment. So All right, we'll
Right.
we'll catch y'all later. Y'all take care. Good seeing everybody, and always
Yep.
love, peace, and crackling grease. Catch y'all later.
See ya. Thank you.
Yeah, but that was the good old days. Now everything is, now you got to raise a pig. They raise doggone chickens in 6 weeks. I mean, from a bitty all the way to a full grown chicken and all that stuff with all these steroids and everything else. That's why antibiotics don't work anymore. People don't realize that's why you go to the doctor nowadays. They don't give you antibiotics anymore for cold or flu or anything like that because they don't work because of all the steroids and everything else that's in the food. So
Hey, mate. Mudster, how you doing, buddy? I don't know where Jeff's at. Was this weekend the Steam Show weekend? Is he at the Steam Show this weekend, possibly?
I can't remember. I think he was talking about one, but I hope he ain't in the hospital again. But
Yeah.
um, I mean, I know he was talking about both of them, his diabetes and his last week on my show. So, I mean, hopefully it was the steam shovel thing and not the hit and miss engines and stuff like that instead of uh, the others. So,
Right. Yeah, I want to say I seen an advertisement or something for the Pike or whatever it is Steam Show that he goes to this weekend.
uh,
So, but yeah, I mean, lots of memories of working down at the meat market and uh, back at the time it was a lot of work, but I do miss the meat and everything and all that, and
yeah,
mainly the lunch meats and stuff.
yeah. Like I said, Granddaddy had coolers with meat and stuff in it, and most people would stop by and want bologna. He had the bologna and the bologna you can't buy no more. The big long tubes, and everybody wanted that, or the big hoop cheese. They'd come in and want a big slice of that. And,
Oh yeah, we carried cheeses and stuff too, and yeah,
yeah.
Willie said Jacktown was this weekend, so
Okay.
pray that that's where he's at, and not a medical issue. So um, I don't think I have his email. So, uh, but
Hello, Mr. Briggs.
Mr. Briggs is driving the Buick. He's
Yeah,
uptown in it.
this car's been sitting in storage. I've had it since brand new. It's been sitting in storage 9 years.
I went to leave to go to my family reunion today and went to unlock my passenger side door, and my key broke off in it. Luckily, there was enough sticking out that I could get a hold of a pair of pliers and went in and got my spare set. So,
Hell, it's an '08 with 31,000 miles on it, 38,000 miles.
nice.
I think I'll show you what I got going on. I think I got a problem. You think the old T100's down for the count?
No, you can fix it.
We got issues. Those damn bushings are a bitch. Trust me, they're a bitch. So we had to pull the grandma car out of hibernation.
Oh, okay, Willie. Thanks. Willie said that Jeff texted a friend asking if Willie was at the show, and So yeah, he's probably there. And oh yeah, smoked bologna. Yeah, that's awesome. I love it.
They're them big, and it's hard. It's hard to find that big the big logs of bologna anymore. I mean, but back in them days, that was good eating. I mean, and Granddad would fix sandwiches back there. That he'd let them choose how thick they wanted the bologna and stuff like that. You know, and sell it by the pound. So he made money off of the lunch crowd and all that stuff too. But I mean, he even had some fresh tomatoes and everything else. Fresh tomatoes, mayonnaise, and all that stuff to throw on it.
Yep.
And I mean, you can't find that stuff anymore. Them kind of sandwiches no more. The
There was a little. I don't. It started out as a convenience store up by where I used to, where I was a diesel mechanic. Uh, all right, Botch, you have a great evening, dear. Thank you for stopping. But they got so popular, they would like 2 days a week they would have a hot lunch, like 3 different things you could get for a hot lunch. It got to be so popular, they basically closed the convenience store part of it, and I mean, they still had some stuff because they had to stay open as a convenience store because they couldn't be a restaurant. But they had like, I mean, they'd have like 7 different things you could get hot meal wise, and then they had a full lunch meat counter, and you could go in and get, and it was all by the pound. You could get any kind of, I mean, you could get 6 different kinds of lunch meats and 5 different cheeses on your sandwich, homemade bread, and they had like a press thing. If you wanted your sandwich hot, they could put the meat in there and warm the meat up and throw it all on a sandwich for you. But everything was by the pound. So
yeah, and it wasn't microwave stuff like it is these days neither.
yeah,
It was actual hot plates and
well, you could get a very expensive meal going very very quickly if you weren't paying attention. Because we went in there one night and the new guy, I'm like, yeah, man, it's all by the pound, X amount of pound. Oh, okay, cool. And he's just, take a scoop of this and a scoop of that. I want some of this and I want some of that. He got 2 like them white carry things. It was like $22. And he's like, wow. I'm like, yeah, but dude, you're
yeah,
going to eat it for 3 days on
yeah. Let me go get this dog. She just started chasing the
it. All
car.
right.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, those bushings are a pain in the butt. Getting them out and getting them in. I had a bushing, one of the tools, and the center of the bushing came out, but the sleeve stayed into the frame. So I had to take a sawzall, cut it in half, real careful, and then peel it up, got one side out. Oh, nightmare. Just total nightmare.
Oh, yeah, Bob. A tomato and mayo sandwich, but you got to have salt and pepper on there, too. And,
Oh, yeah, it's mayo.
Yep. And then I also like the smoked bologna. I like to barbecue it. Chunk it up in little either slices or little small chunks and put some barbecue, just a little bit of barbecue sauce on it, just so it's kind of sticky, and make sandwiches out of that too. That's really good. I love doing that. So, but yeah, I can remember all kinds of good stuff. We used to. My dad made some of the best lunch meat ham. Um, it was awesome. I'm still super spoiled. You know, his hands weren't watery. When you bought like a whole ham, like nowadays you buy them and they're in that plastic wrap. When you cut them open, there's like a cup of water in there. No,
Yeah.
my dad's was nothing but pure ham. You weren't paying any water weight or anything like that, and oh, it was awesome. Yeah, garlic bologna is good too, Bill. My dad used to make these. They're like a hot dog, but they're in a bigger sausage casing, and they called them gnocchis, and it was basically a garlic hot dog. They were delicious. I love them things. yes, creative cooking with simple. And that's what my cooking videos are. Simple, simple recipes with simple stuff. I try not to. I don't like recipes that have too many ingredients or too much stuff you got to buy. And I try to make stuff that most anybody would have around the house or easily obtainable. Um, you know,
Yep.
but yeah, I'm gonna have to get some sausages and have a campfire because it's been a long time since I've cooked some sausages over the open fire. I'm starting to crave something like that. So,
Yeah, that sounds good.
but
Your parents had a meat market, though, right?
yeah, my parent, we had a slaughterhouse. Yep, slaughterhouse meat market.
Too bad you
Yeah,
couldn't have kept that going.
Yeah, it is too bad. But at the time that we got out, um, the federal inspection was basically trying to force all the small places out. Um, just asking more and more and more. Uh, basically, give you a laundry list of things that need to be updated, and if you had an X amount of time to do it, and most of the time you'd have to shut down to get everything done in that time frame. Well, if you shut down, then you had to come up to 100% you know standards, and the return on investment would have never been there. So they got out of it while they could.
well, that's exactly what Granddaddy was running up against with his little store. I mean, the food part was okay, but when you got all them the meat sauce or the little plain sliced bologna or meat lunch meats and stuff like that, they were getting to be a pain in the butt on that stuff too. So,
Yeah, yeah,
and he was up in his already at retirement age. So, I mean, my uncle tried to run the store for a little while, but he never could get the store going. Like
well,
Granddaddy had it. So,
when we sold out, I was like 18, 17 or 18, and my dad offered it to my brothers. um, he'd stay on, to help and keep it going and everything if they wanted to make the investment and stuff. And it just wasn't worth it. They had a long discussion about it, and so it was time for Dad to retire. In a couple more years, and it yeah, just was good time to get out. But now a lot of small places are opening back up because people don't want to buy their meat and stuff from the grocery stores and stuff like that. So, but
So, did someone buy the business and keep it all open, or they just close it?
no, we just closed it. Had a big auction, basically sold all the equipment and everything, and then an actual woodworking shop went in there for a while. I don't know what's in there now. What's in the building now?
well, Granddaddy's old store, they pretty much letting it fall down. I mean, it's just after he sold it and all this stuff, they tried to put a beer joint, and that was something that Granddaddy didn't ever want to do. He wouldn't sell beer. He wouldn't sell anything like that. So,
Mm-hmm.
but I mean, then there was three or four other stores opened up right on top of him. So, I mean, it was, and he done made his money, and he was at retirement age. He couldn't keep uh, the vegetables, the fresh vegetables and all that stuff every day at the store. Like the ground's done and and all that stuff. So we just he finally just shut it down. And like I said, my uncle tried to run it for a little while, but he just couldn't ever get the crowd back.
Right.
'Cause- but running a country store like that, Granddaddy would always run a tab, you know, and BS like that. If he had some of the money that he had on them doggone tabs when he closed that store down, I mean, it would have been a whole different story. But I mean, but it was
Well, like one of the big things they wanted from us is when you walked in the front door of our meat store, there was a long counter. That's where all the cases were at. It had all the steaks and hamburger and pork and lunch meats and all that. And then right behind that was off to the right was a cutting room area. That's where we cut all the meat at for in the store and that. And that was one of the things that when people come in, they could see exactly what we were cutting, to put in the case or for custom meats or whatever. And if somebody come in and looked at the steaks that were in the case and said, "Hey, I really want like an 1.5-inch steak," we'd go right back in the cooler, come out, cut them an 1.5-inch steak, trim it up, clean it up. Right there it was. Well, they wanted wanted that walled off, so it wasn't accessible to the public. Well, that was the thing that when you come in, you seen what we were cutting and everything else. So
yeah. And then they didn't. Then of course your counters was your meat counters was over 10 or 12 years old. They wanted you to replace all that and all this other stuff. So in other words, you couldn't. They've done it to basically to kind of put you out of business anyway. I mean, usually like beans and peas and stuff like that. They never even set it in the store because he had a waiting list of what of stuff that we would have in the garden. Or I mean, he had like 12 acres of daggone garden stuff. So I mean, watermelons. When we pick them in the morning, and by 12 we'd have a whole damn truckload sold. So I mean, 'cause they were fresh. They were fresh picked off the line that morning. So it was, and the butter beans or the peas, we'd have those picked and stuff and sold by the end of the time too. So
ooh, Nate's chickens are finally laying eggs.
good deal there, Nate.
Yeah,
You a little bit, Jeff. But
yeah.
there's always a bright side of that, Jeff. I will be on right after following Fullberry Ed stream. So whenever Ed decides he's gonna shut it down, I will open mine up. So, but like I said, I mean, we had. I mean, that was always something that the country stores can't. You walk in nowadays and you can't find what we used to make. I mean, what Granny always had. He had like pickled eggs. I mean, he always had that doggone gallon jar of pickled eggs sitting there, or pickled sausages sitting on the counter.
Yep.
You can't buy those things anymore. I mean,
Well, you can buy them, but they ain't no good because they
yeah,
haven't been sitting there for 2 weeks. You know.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it was always something like that. Was
I already see this coming.
he had a big jar of that, and his candy cabinet was he had a spot underneath the bottom of it where I could slip up under there and reach my hand up in his candy thing and slide back under the table with his trash can sitting right in front of me. I know he knew that I was eating his candy, but
I like the pickled eggs, Nate, but I like the hot peppered eggs too. Oh, hi Jeff. Bye Jeff.
hey Jeff, but Jeff gone again.
Yeah, and if you never had hot peppered eggs, it's basically like the pepper rings.
Uh-huh.
That's what the eggs are in that juice. VA lady, how you doing, dear?
Hey, VA lady.
Yeah. Well, Nate, you can make them. Just buy yourself a couple jars of the hot pepper rings. Take the peppers out, put eggs in it, let them sit for 2 or 3 days. They're awesome. You know, they come out like a yellow green color, kind of funky looking, but they taste awesome. Couple years ago, I had a jar of those and a jar of regular pickled eggs going in my fridge for like 3 months. As I'd eat the eggs out, I'd put more in, just keep it going. So,
Hey, Rail.
hey, Rail. There's Jeff. Hi, Jeff.
There we
With us,
are,
Jeff?
Ed. Now I can hear you.
Yeah.
Huh? Yep.
We're getting ready to shut this one down and going over to Dale.
I think I'm here, ain't I?
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
here.
you here?
Yeah,
You here?
I'm late. Huh. I'm
Well,
late.
I mean,
Fire me.
Jeff has got his all his beard combed and his hair combed. I think Jeff has got him a lady that he ain't telling us about. You even find you a lady there, Jeff, that you ain't telling us about, or what?
How's that? Is that better?
Well, I mean, I was just checking. I mean,
Yeah,
No.
I actually got a haircut this week.
No. No.
You got one or did it yourself?
Actually
No.
got one. My sister-in-law did it for me.
Well, we had the big show this weekend, Ed. Kind of got
Yeah, that's-
rain Friday and yesterday. Did you? Why not all of them?
yep, Uncle Bob, that's exactly what I
I
was
would've thought you
raised
cut 'em
up
off.
with.
Ooh, VA lady, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, we had our big.
So
Ouch. Sorry to hear that, VA lady.
Oh, what happened to her?
she ran out of her medication and had a bad attack, and now she has a lesion on her right lung that's filled with fluid.
Oh,
So,
no.
Everybody,
No, that ain't good.
everybody, pray for her and let her make a very speedy recovery. So, but
Yeah, she can't leave yet. She's not done.
it's exactly.
Well, ain't none of us ready to go yet.
But we're going to shut this one down. Daryl's going to start his live stream immediately after I stop mine. So everybody go over there and smash the like button and everything for him and get his views up. So appreciate y'all coming in, hanging out, and we'll see you in a couple minutes over on Daryl. So y'all have a great week, and we'll see you next time.
All right, good night.